Recently, a student crew from Boardman's BSTN went to the Township Government Center to learn more about the Care Call program. It's a free township service with residents' safety in mind.
I'm Xavier Dorothy, the Fire Chief, Mark Pitzer. Chief Pitzer, what role does the fire department play in the Care Call program?
Well, the Care Call program is a system that was set up for our elderly folks who may live alone, may not have somebody locally that could check on them from time to time. So it's an automated call that happens daily or multiple times a day, depending on how they set up the system. And how it works is if the system does not get a hold of that individual to say that they're okay, our dispatchers will send out our police department for a welfare check. And then once they get to the home and maybe they can't gain access or make contact with them, and maybe we suspect that individual may be in the house, they call the fire department, and that's where we also get an ambulance en route just in case that there is a medical emergency going on in the home. We respond. We may have to force entry into the home, and then we start rendering patient care if the individual is having a medical emergency.
How do the emergency services work together?
We work day to day with the police department. We have a great working relationship. We respond to the same calls. They kind of watch our back. While we're working, they're there to make sure that the scene is safe for us to be working. And a lot of times, there's times, depending on the situation, where the police department may get there prior to us and start rendering care to an individual.
Can you name a time where the Care Call program helped a resident who actually needed it?
I don't have a specific time, but I do know that there have been several occasions over the past couple of years to where our police department has responded out for a welfare check and could not make contact with the resident and called for the fire department, and we went in and maybe found an elderly person laying on the floor, and now we're able to get them a lot sooner versus maybe a couple of days they've been laying on the floor. We're getting to them within hours or within a day, which is a huge benefit into obviously protecting the life of that individual.
What would your advice be to residents about this program?
My advice would be, if you have a loved one that lives in the Boardman community, my advice would be to sign them up for a Care Call. If you have a mom or a dad that is elderly, that lives alone, that maybe you don't contact, as often as you probably should or would like, this is an invaluable tool. Much like the life alert, if somebody falls on the ground, we'd much rather be able to get to them in a timely manner in a couple hours versus a couple days. And obviously, we want to prevent that horrible outcome of somebody, obviously passing away because, they fell, they could not get up, and maybe they were experiencing a medical emergency. So, my advice is, we are encouraging people to sign up for the program. If you have the loved one that could, benefit from this program, please sign up.
The police department role starts with the 911 dispatch center and continues through the welfare checks. The chief has this advice.
Hi, I'm Lena Lee here with Police Chief Toddler. Chief Worth, can you explain the police department's role in the call care program?
Yeah, we manage and oversee the program overall. We have a couple of our employees register people when they have an interest in the program, provide the information, and then throughout the process, as the automated calls go out, we monitor them, and when there's an issue and somebody doesn't respond the way the call is set up or the program is set up, dispatch here, which you see around you, will send one of our officers to a location and do what we call welfare check, and it's simply knocking on the door and seeing and making sure everything's okay. And very often it's just something simple that they missed the call or they weren't home or something like that. When there is an issue or a question, we'll look at how to get entrance into the house. We'll talk to whatever contact is on there, and if we need to get into the house, we'll do so and just make sure that person's okay.
Why is this an important program in the community?
Well, I think everything for the township, one of our focuses, and this is from the trustees on down to all of our employees, is taking care of people. And taking care of the elderly in our community has always been a priority. This program is just one of the steps and one of the ways to help us do that. So I think it's important, especially when maybe you have a loved one that lives in our area, but their family is out of town. It just helps us in the community look after people.
What advice do you have for people who may have a family member or friend that they think would benefit from this program?
Simply getting them enrolled. Contact the police department. There's our website or township website through the police department, or just simply calling, and we'll get them enrolled. And one of the things that I advise people all the time is we always struggle with trying to find people for the program. And that's just about being a good neighbor. If you have a neighbor that's elderly and you think might benefit, maybe that person doesn't know about the program, maybe you can tell them about the program, or that neighbor themselves can call the police department. We can go knock on that person's door and tell them about the program and how it's going to help them. Or if you're a neighbor and you see a family coming in from out of town to visit their their grandparents or their parents, maybe talking to them and telling them about the program in Boardman. It's about us just identifying people that would benefit, getting them enrolled in the program, and just helps us look after them.
Hi, I'm Max Sega here with Township Trustee Larry Molinterno. How long has the Care Call program been in service?
We started this about 3 years ago.
Is it easy to sign up for the program?
We try to make it as easy as possible. You can go on to our website at the township, and all of the information is on there. You can make a phone call to the township. We, I think, have the numbers that are available to the public. Again, we want to make it convenient for whether it's for yourself or for a family.
Why do you believe that this is an important service in Boardman Township?
Well, we've seen situations in the past where the mail deliverer will come to the house and we'll see that the mail hasn't been picked up in a few days. And so we'll call our police department, our fire department to get involved, and we'll see just a tragedy where maybe someone had fallen or they got hurt, and they've been there for sometimes for a day or two without anyone being able to be there to help. We try to create a really good system in place where if people signed up, all we do is we call their home whenever they want us to, or how often they want us to, and just to check on and make sure they're okay.
So here's what the website looks like. You can read more about the process and contact the township at 330-726-4177. If you think you know someone who might need the safety net of the Care Call program, give this a try. I'm Mia Hamilton for BSTN.